Apparently some of these white devils are turning their back on the one white man, Widow Spooky. All because I said if people were burning a cross on my lawn, I'd pour gasoline on them.
Slavery was a family business. I didn't ask to be born into it. If anything, I'm the victim.
Could you imagine a funnier prank? Was water funny in the 60s? No. However, it does support my theory that a lot of racism in the South has to do with how laughable racists are. But this isn't about race. This is about America. And racism in America. But this isn't about racism in America. What's up, ShootTube? No jokes in this intro because Widow Spooky is back on his bully game. Bullying the ones who need it. Mass shooters are little wimps. Probably the lowest of the low in terms of manhood. Want to talk back? Oh wait, you're dead. But unlike some, they don't have an afterlife as the Holy Ghost. Don't go Inception on me, exes. Stick around. Mass shooters, not only can you not fight someone your own size, you have to sucker punch a crowd? How pathetic and cowardly can you get? You can't even suicide alone. You're that desperate for attention. And you read these manifestos. Boo-hoo, my penis. Boo-hoo, my latent homosexuality. Boo-hoo, my tiny god. Seriously, does it get any more laughable? Only thing more pathetic than the mass shooters are the cops who fail to stop them and the politicians who duck and cover when someone like the Parkland teens decides to speak out about anything. Oh no! Memory hold those losers and get Greta and Rittenhouse to reestablish the party line. I swear these kids these days, it's like they don't want to kill or be killed. Who would have fucking guessed? Where was the good guy with the gun January 6th? Oh, that's right, getting taken out by a Blue Lives Matter flag or too busy shooting an unarmed woman on Ambien. Boom, less than 300 words. Okay, so what are we talking about today? Oh yeah, mutual aid and no bug chasers. I'm not talking about whatever mutually assured destruction you have going on in your community. Me personally, I like getting tested beforehand. But it's not always done, am I right? My dad knew a country line dancing lady who got herpes and decided to get revenge on all the men in the bar by spreading it around. That's most definitely not mutual aid, and I'm sure the same happens in the EDM community. So get tested. Which brings us to the eye for an eye of it all. At what point do you stop focusing on personal problems and start thinking outside of yourself? So you aren't getting laid, me neither. I've agreed to keep myself chaste until my words bring pussy to my lips. I don't think it'll work, but it beats suicide by cop. So your family doesn't accept your lifestyle. Seems you don't accept their abuse. Mutual breakup. The people at the club are a lot more accepting when you aren't shooting them or actively insulting them, like your father and mother do to you. So your God doesn't approve. Plenty more to choose from, and if Christianity has taught us anything, it's God's message can pretty much mean whatever you want and people will believe you. I'm the Holy Ghost and Christians hate me the most. Literally the guy their girl was banking on showing up at some point. Rick and Morty, Batman, etc. Haven't you seen revenge fail every freaking time? What doesn't fail is harm reduction. You know what people do when they have helmets? They hit harder. They drive faster. They fuck without getting pregnant or STDs. So clearly, while not failing, harm reduction isn't the be-all, end-all to safety. There is something to wearing a seatbelt and going with the flow of traffic. My car is basically fine beyond cosmetic repairs because Toyota built a car that protected its engine and passengers. Because other cars saw what was about to happen and refrained from moving. And because I was driving safely under the speed limit as I approached the school zone. All three of those came into play, and there's still thousands of dollars that I need to put into my car to get it where it was. Instead, I'm making these videos. Because once the 40 days is done, I'll be able to see what survives the onslaught of butthurt. Rich white devils who can't take a joke making DCMA complaints. Racists who are upset the quiet part is being blared over their favorite artists. Politicians who are scared democracy won't run without their ever-wrinkling face, softening mind, and hardening heart on the ballot. So I'm going to ignore them for now. Because refusing to be moved is about the least cowardly thing a person could do. I've had multiple guns pointed at my face and ran from them all. If this happens to you, do not make any sudden movements. Muscles contract when people are startled, and guns are literally where we get the word trigger from. Do not trigger a shooter. Talk calmly. Back away slowly till out of eyesight and then run. Cars are another story. Refusing to be moved in an intersection or highway puts your body directly in harm's way. This is not cowardly, but it is incredibly reckless. Ambulances aren't the only vehicles taking people to hospitals, and delayed food delivery could be the difference between someone needing a costly insulin shot or not. If you are blocking a main artery to the city, make sure your cause is just and make sure you have vehicles on your side that can be demolished. Bodies and barricades do not stop cars. Trucks stop cars. Good luck facing an MRAP. A man stood up to a tank, and we remember him. A handful of teens were moved out of the spotlight, and do you remember their names or a handful of shooters? I remember a handful of shooters. I had to look up the name of the high school to make this video. And this is something so obvious to me. I'm struggling to pad the word count. Weak people are given the tools of weakness. Weak people give those tools of weakness out of weakness. They build training grounds for a fight they actively provoke. They lock and load to protect themselves from crazy motherfuckers who might have, oh no, guns. They buy a month's worth of perishable goods in a can because what if the store runs out? Well, the store is throwing away half its supply for looking weird. Hopefully some of that made it into cans. Cans to be collected every Thanksgiving for the people who can't sleep in the park because the grass has been replaced by rocks and there's a fence around it. All because there's someone out there, someone laughing, someone who still thinks despite all that power, all that money, all those men with guns lined up to protect them, those people are laughable. They are naked. They are naked in their monkey suits, and if they know what's good for them, they'll do right by the people they represent. But they don't know what's good for them, do they? And so I'd like a little help. I don't think a doctor's gonna do it for me this time. So my call to action is honk by golf courses. If you're ever driving past a golf course and see a fucker swinging, lay on that horn. Conservatives, Dems, we can all agree, that's really funny. Homeless people, I'll give you an air horn. Free Abby, free Britney, free Candace and Cardi, Demi, Emma, Frida Kahlo, free groupies for Haley Williams, no relation, free IUDs for everyone, free Joan Somi, free Keira Knightley, free Lacey Mosley, free Melania from needing to be best. Girl, try so hard.